Hi class, this is Dita. I'm a little concerned. We had some miscommunication here. This class is, of course, I'm going to just be patient, and we're all going to have to just roll with the punches here the first couple weeks until you guys really get what's expected of you. I was fully expecting a paper in the Dropbox from all of you to talk about the problem definition. And let me share with you where you're going to get your homework assignments. So your primary homework assignments, especially around written, is going to be in the content area under each of the weekly assignments, which means that you're going to have to, one of the first things you're going to do every week is come in here and look at the lessons, read the lessons, okay? And if we come down, we're actually looking for the homework assignments. We're going to see when it says activity, that means you got to do something. That's something you're going to get a grade on. So you're going to get a grade on giving an introduction. You're going to give a grade on choosing a topic, okay? And then as we come up here under week 1 again, there's 2 lessons. Make sure you read them both. And lesson 2 is talking about negotiating a management problem. If you talked with me on the phone, you know that I really hate that definition if you're not doing a specific corporate management project. So it's basically, what are you trying to create in Capstone? What's the deliverable? What's the project? What are you trying to do in Capstone? Okay, and so you're going to discuss that here. Activity. Oh, there's a word, activity. So that means I'm going to do something with that. Well, in the forum, basically, if it's not in the forum and it just says discussion, then follow what's in the discussion forum. If I don't have it in there, then don't worry about it. Okay? If you have questions, put it in office hours for clarification. The second activity here is preliminary problem definition. And you'll notice here the actual deliverable for the week, okay, is by Sunday midnight, you're going to submit the preliminary problem definition proposal section to the Dropbox. And that's what you guys didn't, a lot of you didn't do. I received Perry's and Nick's. Thank you very much for that. So now if we actually go to Nick's paper, he did a pretty good job on this to get going. You'll notice that up here, if you, let me show you on Word how this works. If you actually go to View and you click on Ruler, ruler is going to be a big deal. So we're going to have an inch margin on both sides. And then if you double click in here, it's going to be able to give you the header. So we want it to actually say running head, just like this. And then in all caps, need for sustainability. And you notice that the 1 is lined up with the inch margin. If I space 1, it's going to go down to the second line. So I'm just going to backspace. That's how I know that it's lined up. Then we have the title page. So put in your specific information there. Executive summary. I'm just saying that that's in Capstone. It's a placeholder. So we're going to use the same paper in Capstone, and then we're going to come back and fill this in. Nick, you forgot to put it on page 2. Notice the running head went away. So you're actually going to have to save this. Let me put it as a view. Ruler. And now if I double click in the header, it's going to give me an option in Word for a different first page. So you can actually set up a different first page than the second page. And if you do this, this is going to be consistent for the rest of the paper. So if we go to, once I put it in page 2, it's now going to get your page numbers in here correctly. And now we have our table of contents. Just keep that there. All these page numbers are going to change in Capstone, but I do want you to have it here as a placeholder so you know what sections. Right now we're right here. Week 1 is problem definition, but we should have all of these things in our paper so far. Okay, this next week we're actually going to be covering the background and history. Okay, so as we come down here, and thank you, Nick. We got the problem definition. And then we have the mission of the project, guidelines of the project, implementation of the project, goals of the project. And so the only thing I would recommend then, Nick, is just to take this out. Okay? And then that section is done. So this next week, we just keep the rest of this as placeholders, And then next week, I will go ahead, you make the changes to the paper based off of what I recommended. So I'm going to be able to see if that is now updated. And so I'm going to give a grade here on the problem definition right here. Okay, so let's say I give Nick a B because he's just got to change a couple of things. When he turns in his paper again, I'm going to change this back to an A so he knows that that section is done. Okay, all right, very good, guys. I really I expect to hear from you in terms of when you're going to submit this paper. Okay, if you haven't had a conversation with me yet, you really need to do so ASAP. All right, it is mandatory, and otherwise, for anybody that didn't do this, I'm going to put a 0 in your grade for now, and then you need to contact me when you're going to submit it. And then when you submit it, I need it within the next few days because it was due. All right, so let's get it going, guys. If you have any questions, you need to text me, call me, email me, put it in the office hours. We got to get going here. Okay, thanks. Bye.